Hey everyone, it's Matt from HowToMotorcycleRepair.com. So here's my latest purchase, an '89 Honda Z50. Actually, I bartered for it. My buddy who sold me the KX250 and also the videos that I have on an '06 KX250F top and bottom rebuild, he scored this for 150 bucks. As you can see, the engine's not in the bike. It's actually in a tote behind me here, which I'll show you in a little bit here. So basically, he picked it up for 150. He thought it was a pretty good deal. He has like 2 or 3 of these bikes and a bunch of extra spares. So he didn't really need this. He just basically picked it up for me to fix. He was going to fix it for himself or sell it to me or whatever, but we ended up bartering. He had a Honda Cub that he needed work on, and I wanted a Z50, so we kind of just bartered. And it works out pretty good because, you know, I got 3 kids, ages 7, 5, and 3, and you know, I still like riding these around the yard. They're really quiet. They don't take a lot of space in the garage. They don't cost a lot of money. So overall, this will just be a good project to get my kids involved out in the garage, and you know, give me something to do over the winter here in Chicago. It's pretty damn cold out. So now, I remember when I was like 9 or 10 years old, my cousin had one of these. I think it was the late 70s. And that's basically how I learned how to ride on 2 wheels and learned how to balance. I mean, I started off riding ATVs, but this was the actual first 2-wheeler that I rode. And I remember we were riding it up in Wisconsin, and it's really sandy up where my family has land, and I remember wiping out all the time because, I mean, this thing does not do good in sugar sand, if you will. And I remember just taking some nasty spills, but you know, hey, you gotta learn somehow, right? So, and then I remember when I was in my teens, a bunch of my buddies had these, and that's actually how we commuted, with our skateboards on the back and stuff, and we were just cruising around the town and stuff like that, and that's how we got around. The cops didn't care. You know, there was a lot of open land around here in the suburbs. A lot of homes weren't built yet. Now it's all built up, and you know, the cops will, you know, harass you for riding something like this, but you know, it was just a good time. So, and now I can sit on the back seat and I can put my kids on the tank and putt around. So it's just nice to. This is a nice toy for all ages. All right, so let's unpack the tote. All right, so I unpacked the tote, and here it is. Here are all the engine parts, just completely in pieces. Apparently there was an issue in the transmission, and that's why, you know, someone took it all apart and then just kind of abandoned the project. So before I accepted this barter, I went and looked at it, and what I did is I printed all the parts diagrams from any online supplier. I went to Rocky Mountain. I use them quite a bit, and I printed them all out, everything for the engine, and I kind of checked off all the parts to see if all the major components are here, because I don't want to, you know, deal with finding parts or anything like that. So everything here, it seems pretty complete. I'm obviously going to buy a gasket kit, maybe new rings and stuff like that, or whatever else went south in the transmission, but overall it's pretty complete. And I got a Honda parts dealer in town that I get cost on parts, and usually parts the next day, so that, you know, that's really going to help out with this project. And the friend that bartered with me here has a spare engine or 2 sitting in his shed, so I think I can, he said I can use any of those parts, so I think I can get this going for next to nothing. You know, gaskets and a few parts here and there, and you know, overall it should be a relatively cheap project. Also, I have the service manual. You can download this from my site. I actually have several. This is the, I believe, 87 or 88 through 97. I'm not really sure, but I have like 3 different service manuals covering way back in the 60s, 70s, in the 80s, and this portion. So they're pretty much all the same. You know, this motor design has been around for a long time. There's, you know, slight differences, but overall it's pretty much the same. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm probably going to assemble everything without gaskets. All the bolts will be loose, but I just want to get it together to make sure I have all the pieces, and then I'll go ahead and create the top and bottom end video for all you to see. You know, the cases look like they're in good shape. There's no cracks or anything like that, so everything's pretty complete here. It looks like the chain fell off and messed up this area a little bit here, and that's pretty common on these models, and you can see it cracked here, you know, the magneto cover or whatever, but there's no oil that goes in here, so I think I can get away with that. So all this looks like it's in good shape. So yeah, it's all pretty much here. You know, I spent, you know, 10 minutes organizing this, and you know, I need to spend a little more time and get familiar with this and put it together, and you know, before I create a video for it. Alright, so a couple things. You can go to my site and download the manual. I just recently set up a Facebook page, so I would encourage you to like my Facebook page. I'll probably be posting pictures of my progress along the way. And also, you can opt in for my newsletter, which will all this stuff will be below the video in the description link. If you opt in, I'll automatically email you when these videos become available, so you can know right away. All right, so some things that jump out at me right away is this rear tire doesn't hold air and it's pretty dry rotted. So new tube, new tires, probably all around. Also under here, there's a bunch of JB Weld under the tanks, and I see that's pretty common on these tanks. The tank doesn't really have any dents. There's one dent over here, but I typically do see people patch it under here, whether they rust out or what, they start leaking. So the tank's going to have to be addressed. When I open the tank up and look down in here, there's rust, so I will have to address that. Now I do have videos on how to acid etch this with vinegar and then seal it with Caswell tank sealer. For this project, I think I'm going to use a Vapor Rust. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which you just pour it in, within 30 minutes it just removes all the rust. It's pH balanced, you don't have to neutralize it. And then maybe I'll just keep it full of gas, and that way it won't flash rust. Not sure yet, and it also depends on whether these patches leak or not. So I don't know what I'm going to do exactly, but you know, I'm not even going to worry about the tank until I have the engine complete and running off an auxiliary fuel tank. The nice thing about this bike is it has no tears or rips in the seats. I mean, you still see a little bit right here and here, but overall, the seat's in good condition, and you rarely find that. Another thing is this fender. It's all, you know, it's not cracked, and even the little tabs under here aren't cracked or whatever. Now, I think they only made this color in a year or two, 89, and I believe there was another year, so this is a pretty rare fender, and it's not available from Honda anymore, from what I'm told. And I can easily probably sell the seat and the fender and a few little bits here and there and be at $150 and recoup my cost if this project doesn't work out for whatever reason. But I'm not like that. I'm going to make it work, and I want to get this thing running because I love these little things. So, what else? I noticed that there was some slop here in the forks, right here, see that? So we're probably going to have to rebuild the forks. There's a bushing in here and it's packed with grease or whatever, so the headset's loose, so we're definitely going to have to address the front end. But again, that's not going to be till way later. The grips are shot, there's no number plate, the on-off button here is broken, so we'll have to, you know, do something about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's just a quick video to show you of upcoming videos on this project. I want to get this going by spring. I'll definitely get it going way before then, but you know, hopefully, you know, it takes me a little bit to edit the videos and whatnot. Alright, so that's it for this video. Again, if you want to stay up to date, you got multiple options. Like my Facebook page, obviously subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just go in the upper right and hit the little HTMR button. The newsletter, opt in, And those are ways you can get notified of this project. Alright, so it's Matt from HowToMotorcycleRepair.com. Thanks for watching.